to Reelcast Fishing, your host Glenn with the Cedar Valley Fishing Field Team, a COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, well, got some big events that happened today, and I'm wearing a particular shirt. It's called The Sun is Getting Mooned. Alrighty, and it's the Total Eclipse that happened earlier today. And yours truly, us in the city of Allen, were able to get a good view of the eclipse as well as some of the happenings. Eclipse, now tornado. Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, I've got both vehicles in the garage, and, well, it's going to be an interesting night. I think we're going to get hit with it around 10 o'clock, and it's go all the way to the early hours, so bummer on that. And who's that? A-Reddit sake? Howdy. Thanks for joining. This round we're doing some fishing ramblings, and in particular I want to talk about, I'll give you an update on some of the things that I was working on specifically with that 3D printer right there, okay? Been playing around with it to make those microblade lures, and then I downsized a surface popper lure made with 3D printed that's normally about a 6-7 inch in size. I dropped it down to 2 inches, and after getting it painted and making some adjustments, I even made a tool that helped me paint it and get it nice, well, at least presentable to the fish. So let me grab it here. I actually tested it today, and I'll get a video out on it, but here it is. It's kind of beat up already. All right, it's about 2 inches long, weighs about 1/7 ounce, just short of 1/8, and about 1/7 ounce, maybe 1/8 ounce. Initially, when I first printed it, it was really light, but of course, after I put the hardware, painted it, and the epoxy, it's got an epoxy coating that held well, and 2 treble hooks, a small size. This was a larger size one. It's got a red head and yellow body, white eye / with a red pupil, and lo and behold, this thing is a fish getter. I cast it out over there at Sonic Pond a couple hours ago and caught and released I'd say 5-6 bass. And I was using this is the casking, just your stock casking with the reel clicker, not the one where I added the high spool speed bearing that can really crank out some light weights. And I got the old ultralight rod on here, Lightning Berkeley, and it did really well. I got some video on that, and I'll get a follow-up video. But I'm really happy with it. I think I might make some adjustments because this one uses some hook eyes that you put into the lure itself. I think I'm gonna make a wire body piece that'll go in and do a through wire piece, because if I do get a bruiser, I suspect that it may be a little bit hard or possibly break off, because I don't know, a little hook eye thing with little screw threads. You get a nice size one, it may throw you. But let me grab the tool that I made. Right here. Okay. All right. And so what I did was I needed a low speed, slow revolution lure turner for painting as well as for setting the epoxy. And I didn't want to spend any money. So I kept this, which is that light projection thing that you use to do your Christmas lights in the Christmas. Well, the bulb died and some other issue with it, and I didn't want to throw it away because I noticed the motor went really slow. So after I made some adjustments, added a little rod piece in the middle and glued with some hot glue a little clip, I was able to put the lure here and turn it on and let it spin, and I got a really good coating of epoxy, nice even thread or spread, and well, it lasted at least 6-7 bass, so and still going strong. So that's what I made, and then had some leftover sheet metal for some of those microblade lures I was making out of sheet metal instead of the PLA filament from the 3D printer. And I put it on here, and I'm using this to lay the epoxy and set up the initial preps of the lure before I place it onto the tool. So I made this one, just basically tinkered about. Look at this little cap from my prescription bottle for some meds I had. I just stuck it on there, dug a hole through it, and put some tubing from a tube fly rig that I have, and it fit perfect on the shaft. And guess what? It worked out really good, and it got me what I was wanting, which was a smooth, even finish on the particular micro lure. So this is that 3D micro popping lure that's downsized from 7 inches to 2 inches. And this is what I fished today and caught a few fish. In fact, let me go ahead and take you to one of the videos. I still got to work on the video, but let me take you to it. So here's where I'm just going to the local pond over there at Sonic. I haven't tried this out yet. I'm just going to go out and see if, well, number one is a 3D printed micro lure is a viable thing that you can do. And on top of it, will they catch fish? And I was kind of hesitant to see if it would. I've made other popper lures out of wood and shaped them and all that, but I'll tell you what, it's much easier doing this with that 3D printer. Got it on there, and I was using that ultralight bait casting gear, that Tasking Zephyr, stock Tasking Zephyr with the reel clicker. I didn't add the high speed, or the other Zephyr reel I have has the high spool speed bearings. And what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at the water in the pond. I could see some fish moving about, and here I'm just going to go cast it out and see what happens. So this could be the first cast of the, I guess, micro popper lure. So it's 2 inches, weighs about 1/7 ounce, and I cast it out, and I'm just kind of popping it with some short pops, and I do see some bass out there, and in fact I do think I have a couple that are trailing it, and sure enough I'm gonna get one on the line here shortly. Like, yeah, there he is right there. All right, so yeah, this 3D printing, I've always wanted to do different 3D prints to make tools and whatnot, or parts and small things. Well, in this case, it looks like I can also use it for catching a fish or two. And so far, I've been really happy with it. The setup time for actually printing it takes about 10 minutes to print. And then after that, the rest is getting everything secured together. It's 2 halves that I super glue together, and then I put a coat of it's Zap-A-Gap just to make sure that it maintains good water integrity, and then I'll lay a base layer of paint, and then on top of that, I'll do an epoxy coating, and sure enough, I'll throw on the hardware, and you're able to go out there and, well, catch a fish or two. So that was the first fish caught on the micro lure, popping lure. All right, and I've got more. Stay tuned for some additional ones that I'll get out there for that trip. But I'm really happy with it. Okay. Other than that, it's been a pretty good day. We dealt with the eclipse. Now we're gonna have to deal with some tornado warnings, watches, and potential hail. It's been projected to have some potential baseball-size hail. So we got the vehicles in the garage, and well, we're gonna have to hunker down tonight. But that said, might as well have a little brewski. This is a strawberry kiwi cider. Very good. Anyhow, hope you guys are having some fun out there. This time of year is a great time to be out hitting the different ponds. I mentioned how I used the micro popper lure today. Previous to that, did a couple of live streams fishing different fishing flies, and I think I started out with a foam damselfly at one place. got a good amount of bass and a couple of bluegill. They weren't big bruisers, but they sure were fun. And the key takeaway there was the local ponds are starting to get clobbered with a lot of that greenery that kind of grows in the ponds this time of year. And a lot of times I like using, be it bait casting gear or bait finesse gear, ultralights. But when it's really clobbered like that, it's perfect time to take out your fly rod and start working those different holes or pockets between all that greenery, and you'll be surprised what you can catch. And most times I'll go with some kind of surface fly, be it a foam damselfly, a foam spider, even those hair rigs or hair flies, deer hair bugs, popping poppers. Those have been really good as well. And what you do is just short cast, get it to an open area in the greenery, and hold on. You may get a strike soon after. Additionally, they are the bass are spawning, so they're on their beds, and well, it's been a pretty good. Noting that let's see, that you can possibly catch them on beds, but I gotta call this live stream short. I'm getting a call here, so well, all for now. Next time we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.